people who died, but they are because they have a immunocompromised, meaning they have other diseases. And some of the younger kids that died, teenagers, are, for example, they were vaping. So if you were a vapor, like some of the kids do really aggressive vaping, so they destroy their lung to begin with. So when you have a compromised lung, no matter what cause, if you're a smoker, really bad smoker, you are very susceptible to this disease.
Does that mean that those people who are not as young as the millennials, but with good health condition, they can survive?
Yeah, they recover. The recovery rates.
Okay.
The recovery rate so far is about 70 to 80%. So you can recover, and even there was a lady who was in the Diamond Princess cruise ship. She was 65, and she had the disease. She was tested positive, and the only symptoms she had was a fever for 2 days, and then after that, just maybe a mild cough. And after 14 days, she got better. And so that's why they have the incubation period. About 14 days is what they claim, but it could be longer. We don't know for sure. We're not 100% sure what it means. How long it takes that you are infectious. In other words, you can transmit it. You could be healthy looking, and you have the virus, and you can transmit the disease. If you remember, in Italy, there was this mayor, I don't know which town, and he said, hug a Chinese, hug a Chinese day. And so there was this Chinese person who was hugged by many people in that particular town. And and that's what happened. Apparently, that's how it spread. We don't know how true that is, but this is, if you look at the internet and the news, you'll find that there was a mayor in Italy who, in the beginning, was boasting that you could hug a Chinese, that sort of thing.
Now,
Right.
Dr. Alviar, we'd like to ask you about the transmission that you had mentioned earlier. So you said that in China, for example, that this was they started with the bats because it's sort of like a delicacy, and it went to be transmitted to the pangolin, I think, the exotic animal.
If you remember, they have the Chinese New Year.
Uh-huh.
And so they invited 40,000 people to attend the Chinese New Year, and all the relatives came from other parts of China, and they went to celebrate Chinese New Year with a whole bunch of people who were infected already. We don't know. They don't know. They didn't know, and that's what happened.
So that's means when you eat this type of food, it could be transmitted to human, and then it can be transmitted by this human to another human being.
Correct.
And so on and so forth. Right. And now, what's the logic behind the washing of the hands constantly, and then avoiding the services using hand sanitizers, which are running out of the shelves?
Yeah.
So those are important?
Well, the washing the hands has always been important.
Yes.
For us, but we forget. And even just regular flu or even regular cold. Because if you remember, if you don't practice that, you can get sick yourself.
Right.
And touching of your face, etc. So washing of the hands as much as you can is more important than even the hand sanitizer, because you don't know the hand sanitizer is not always protecting you from everything else. It's washing the hands is more important. And then avoiding, many people in public place. You don't know whether they have the disease or not, and then of course you can get infected.
Yes.
That's why the so-called social distancing is had to be practiced in that sense.
Please define and explain symptomatic and asymptomatic.
Well, asymptomatic is like nobody. You have no symptoms at all. You don't feel anything. You feel good, and you walk around like nothing happened to you because you have an immune system. So if everybody was tested, for example, if we tested everybody, symptom or no symptom, if you test it, I'm sure you're going to find people with positive coronavirus test, even those without symptoms. And this is true with any disease. I mean, if your immune system is good, and you don't have any problems, underlying problems, like you don't have you're not have renal transplant, you're not on chemotherapy, or you don't have liver disease, etc. You can be asymptomatic. I mean, totally, and you'll be positive.
So, would you like to say that all people must undergo this testing, even though they don't have signs? Because we've been hearing that if you don't have any symptoms, don't go for testing.
No, I don't think you should be tested. Not everybody should be tested. No. I think there have some guidelines now. The CDC already have guidelines who should be tested. Like they're saying that if you are, say, you're feeling sick and you have a fever, then you stay home. You don't go anywhere.